Hey guys, Dave here from Bold Adventures, bringing you outdoor video content every single week. If that's something that you enjoy, make sure you follow along and don't forget, hit subscribe. So do you love hiking in Snowdonia? Are you looking for a hike or a wild camp away from the crowds? If so, then this walkthrough, talk through hiking guide is for you. It's a day hike easily accomplished with the family in tow, or you can turn it into an overnight stay at Dulyn Bothy and get up early to explore some of the Carneddau Mountain Ranges high above. It's entirely up to you. The route itself covers 9 kilometres. It uses the OL1 map and has a place to park the car if that's how you plan on getting there. So let me switch screens, shrink down, and I'll talk you through the route. Right, so I'll start by saying that the map software that I'm using for these hiking guides comes from the OS Maps app. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on your desktop to plan your routes, and if you're like me, you can use it to navigate on the ground. However, I do recommend also taking a map and compass. You've still got to learn how to use those. So, the hike starts from this point here, which is Carnedd Llewelyn Car Park. It's a small car park, but it's free. There is a limited amount of spaces, so if you are thinking of starting from this point, make sure you get there early so you can get a space. As we start off then, we're going to head across the open pasture land, which used to be used for grazing and probably still is. It can be quite windy, and what we're going to do is we're going to head to the junction in the paths just at this point here. At this point here, we're going to head straight across the junction in the paths. We're not going to use the path on the right because that is going to form part of our descent path. We're going to head straight on and start skirting up around the summit you can see just in front of you. So we start to ascend quite quickly, but it's nothing to worry about. The ascent's not a problem, and as you turn the corner and start to head up towards the summit, you don't reach the summit itself, but you'll start to see the views open up across into the valley, and we then start to walk down the path which hugs the hillside, taking in all the views of the Carneddau Mountain Range that you can see in front of you. You've got Carnedd Llewelyn, which you'll probably be able to see on a good day, and Fort Grac on a good day too. And we're heading down towards an old building which looks like a miner's building or a mining building. It's just in the distance. I'll pause it when we get there. On this path you should start to see those views of both reservoirs starting to open up. So you'll find the building at this point here, where you'll also find a small bridge which crosses a stream. Now it's important we take this path as we want to head to the northern shore of Llyn Melyn, and that's where we want to be. So as we reach that northern shore and we head across the open ground, when you set back off, we're going to head round this rocky outcrop which will lead us down to Llyn Dulyn. Now at this point here, it can get quite rocky, it can become quite steep, but it's perfectly manageable underfoot with a bit of care and consideration. As we head down then, you're going to start to see the steep cliffs come into view which surround Llyn Dulyn. And when you reach the bottom, we'll just pause it there, because I recommend that when you do reach Llyn Dulyn, you spend some time to take in the atmosphere. If the water's shallow enough, you may be able to spot the propeller blades from the Douglas Dakota plane that crashed into the cliffs in 1944, killing all 4 crew. But on a lighter note, if we head down, it's only a short walk from the outlet to the reservoir to where the body is itself. On reaching the body itself, it's a great spot to get out the wind, light some candles if it's a dark and dingy day, make a hot drink and have some lunch. If you're using this body as a base to explore the Carneddau Mountain Range, then please make sure that you leave it in clean and tidy condition. Don't fell any nearby trees to make a fire, and make sure that you take all your rubbish away with you. If you're not, then you can head off after you've had your food in a northwesterly direction across the open ground. If you have a compass with you, I suggest setting a basic bearing headed northwest, because if the mist rolls in or it's extremely bad weather, it can be quite easy to lose the path. Stick to what path there is, but if the ground's wet, however, it is going to be likely very boggy in parts, and you're headed down the valley towards the dam at the bottom. You can see it in the distance. Again, the ground's open. You're going to cross a couple of stream systems on the way down. You'll cross over a couple of styes, but all you're doing is you're making sure you're heading down that path towards the head of the valley that you came from until you reach a very small dam around this point here. Once you reach the dam, there's going to be a small bridge which you can easily get across. If you do that, when you head across the dam and start to head off on the path, what you're going to find is you'll come across a junction in the paths, and all we want to do is keep to the right, and we're just going to skirt around the same high ground which we did when we very first started. As you follow it round, you'll start to see the path that you took early in the day, and you can start to head back across the open ground to the car park where we began, pick up the car and head home. So there we have it, a full walkthrough guide to Dulyn Bothy, where if you want to you can spend the night and use it as your base to explore the Carneddau Mountain Range. Quick question for you, do you stay in mountain bothies? If so, which one's been your favourite to date? Let me know in the comments below and I'll take a look. I'll link any valuable information about the route in the description below, along with links to my social channels including Instagram and Facebook. If you found value in this video, be sure to check out my other hiking guides and start planning your next adventure. And as always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to come along for the ride, make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.